Because I come from an abusive household. I come from a father that was took care of the house. Don't get me wrong, but that cat with domestic violence, he knew that. He knew that. And that kind of ran me out the house at an early age, you know. If you really love yourself, you're not gonna subject yourself to this. Here, you don't have nothing to say about nothing. You are forced to eat what they feed you. Even now, I live in a pod the size of a normal living room with 7 other men. I'm told what to do. As you know, 59 years old, I have kids now telling me what to do. You know, and those are things that hurt.
All right, now first and foremost, what's your name and where you from?
Yeah, my name's Keith Colbren from Sacramento, California.
How long you been down?
I've been incarcerated for 29 years now. 59 years old. I've been on the streets 13 months since I was 17 years old. Committed my third offense in 1996 and got struck out under the California's 3 strikes law.
Wow.
Yes, 13 months.
So, if you don't mind me asking,
Yes.
what was the offense that led to your third strike?
I committed a robbery. Unfortunate, I committed a robbery. Again, I say I've been incarcerated. I've been home again 13 months since I was 17. So all the time it's been incarceration, and I guess I started before rehabilitation was even part of the system. So when I came to prison as a kid, 17 years old, being in this environment definitely wasn't conducive to my well-being. I wasn't nurtured to grow and evolve, and I am responsible and accountable for everything I did, but at the same time, this is what I learned. This is what I learned. I remember public defender when I was 17-year-old, and he asked the judge and the DA, man, if you send this kid to prison at 17 years old, what do you think his life's gonna be like? And here I sit before you today, 59 years old, you know, and still incarcerated. Yes. Before rehabilitation, since they've implemented rehabilitation in the California Department of Corrections, a lot of things has changed. They're giving us more access to resources as far as information, you know, far as, hey man, you know what you're doing is wrong, you know, instead of just warehousing and just sitting us in these communities, you know, so it's really helped me evolve. I think a lot of mine is my maturity, again, 50 years old, I'm elder statesman, but as well, just the rehabilitation, the recovery, the information, the nurturing, the love, the support, the guidance, all of those different things has really helped me to evolve. Has really helped me to evolve, yes.
Absolutely. Do you have a strong support system on the outside in terms of family and friends, or?
I do. Unfortunately, I reiterate for the 3rd time, I've been incarcerated all my life. It's been hard to really build those relationships. My father's passed away, my mother's passed away. I'm the eldest son. I have a couple brothers that's younger than me. Yes, we're connected. It's definitely not as strong as it should be with one being away for so long. Far as the support system, I have other outside resources that I've been fortunate enough to be connected with that's trying to see me to the finish line and to be able to help me beyond these fences. So that's definitely a blessing, and that's something that's needed. How you just throw a cat out at 59 years old? Here you go, bro, make it happen. It don't happen like that. You know, even though I do believe I can still succeed. You know, I've been college educated. I've been fortunate enough. There's one thing that I've had is get to 2 degrees, sociology and communications. I think both of those really helped me to be able to make that transfer, the acclimation back into society.
Now you said you got parole coming up in a year, right?
Yes, yes.
We go to the board in a year.
Yes, be my elderly parole date. Yeah, my first one, 30 years.
And
Yeah.
do you feel confident at this moment that that you will be set free or found suitable?
Honestly, it's really hard for me to say because I am a 3rd strike, what they call violent offender, and I know that I have nothing coming. When I was sentenced to life. So anything short of that is really a blessing. I think I've done, I want to say, everything that I can do to prepare myself Today, I am rehabilitated. I have, as they say, recovered. I have transformed. I'm not the man that I used to be or the child that I used to be. So it's a thing of just proving that, to the board. You go in there and you sit in front of three people that, they look through your file for an hour and, and that's your judgment. They are trained. I'm not the first one that they've came to give a board hearing to, so they know their craft and they know what they're looking for and all those good things. And I just pray, I just really pray that God be with me. He knows the hearts of men. He knows the hearts of men. So it's to be seen. Honestly, I feel a little less prepared for as having the access, the resources out there in society, being that I have been incarcerated for so long, far as being have job offers or transitional housing. Those are all things I'm gonna have to lean on getting there. But far as just having a big support system of everybody in the community, no, Keith don't have that. But that is something that really helps. That really helps in that judgment. So
Right.
it's to be seen.
Absolutely.
It's to be
So
seen.
I guess that's one of my other questions I
Yes.
had. What are some of the fears that you have in terms of going out, in terms of being released? What are some of the fears that linger in your mind that you think about?
I wouldn't really say fears, because through this course of time, I've really prepared myself mentally. Uh, and it's not like, even though, at 17 years old, when I first started this journey, I was just a child, but I still know the basics. I was raised with the basics. I know how to go get a job. I know how to go pay them bills. I know how to take care of myself in that facet there. Uh, it is always being an ex-con. You have those stigmas. I'll forever be judged. Although I committed this crime 30 years ago, I still judge today like it was yesterday. So it is a little unsettledness about how one will be received into the community. But at the same time, I tip my hat because I know it is a lot of resources. It is a lot of organizations out there that's really helping us today. That's more so than ever. So that's where I really lean on. So I feel pretty comfortable. I feel pretty comfortable and confident in myself, to the point where if I do need any help, I know how to raise my hand and ask for it today with no hesitation. With no hesitation. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Question about legacy.
Yes.
You left behind a certain legacy.
Yes, sir.
Like you said, you're judged for something that happened 30 years ago. But from that time moving forward into the future, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to be remembered for?
Man, just glory. That an individual that's been through trials and tribulation, uh, and just really been able to evolve. I think Tupac said it best in one of his poems, like the rose that grew through concrete. Through all the adversity and struggle, I've still been able to climb and climb and climb, and to go on to succeed. Beyond these gates, when that time comes, my legacy would be just being able to give back everything that I've endured, everything that I've learned. I know I'm not the only one. We have children in our communities today that if they're not careful, they are set up for that L. And I just want to be able to tap in there and just be able to spread the information, the love. It's really it's a blessing for everything that I have learned on this journey. Just the life period. Coming from a broken home, coming from having every adverse childhood experience that one can suffer from, and still to be standing. To be here with sound mind, with a sound spirit, and that's just the grace of God. So just to be able to go on and live life, man, and just to be happy, the basics, the basics.
If you could give any advice to your 17-year-old self, what would it be?
Don't do it. 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 Uh, I would say to my 17-year-old self is just to take advantage of what's being offered to you. Because it was times that it was there for me. And, acting very immature and childish, I didn't take advantage of them opportunities. Uh, I seen the quick money, the fancy cars, the I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. And that would be something I would tell my 17-year-old self, man, just stay in school. Everything that glitters is not gold, and to embrace patience and really cling to those that to love you, those that love you, really cling to those. Yes.
Okay, and that's a message to your 17-year-old self. Any other advice that you have for any individual young kid out there that might be leading themselves down the same path that you went down, ultimately leading them here or even
Yes.
worse?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I would say don't do it. I think we all know right from wrong. We all more so nurtured. I think just innately we have a sense of righteousness in us. Uh, I would say, just looking at me as an example, 59 years old and been in society 13 months since I was 17 years old. This is the ramifications. This is the outcome of that life that we live. The gangster lifestyle, the hustler lifestyle, whatever we may want to call it. Uh, Today, I can look back and say none of that is worth it. None of that is worth my freedom. None of that is worth the people that I've hurt, the people that I've harmed. And I would say to you to challenge yourself to really realize what you were doing. And would you want the same things to be perpetrated to your loved ones, to your families? We run around with guns, we run around with pistols, we take what we want, all of that different type of behavior, bro, that's not really what's up. Ain't nothing cool about that, ain't nothing fly about that. And don't waste your life. Don't waste your life. Life is precious. We don't get a second chance. We don't get a second chance at this. Yeah.
Now, to expound upon that a little bit, can you explain to them some of the freedoms that maybe you took for granted on the outside that, you know, or excuse me, not the freedoms that you took. Yes, some of the freedoms that you took for granted on the outside that maybe like you don't have in here today, or give
Yes.
them, a realistic look at like what your day is like, and like some of the things that you miss
Yes.
being
Yes.
able to do.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Just the basics, man. Just being able to go to school every day. Just to be able to go get educated. To be able to have educators, to be able to have the community that was there to support me, and for me not to respect that, for me not to appreciate that, for me not to really lean into that. Uh, it's somewhat like a slap in the face. I see it as that today. All the struggles and strains that our fathers and our mothers and our forefathers and mothers have been through and have gone through to get us where we need to be in life. That yeah, I really look today. I see where I squandered that. Just really going to school, being able to get an education, to be able to be in a community around individuals that love and support me, really not taking advantage of that. Uh, and I remember my grandmother years ago, she used to tell me, she said, Keithy, baby, you have to learn how to love yourself, and today I really realized what she meant by that. And she was talking about my incarceration, the course of me being to and fro. If you really love yourself, you're not going to subject yourself to this. Here, you don't have nothing to say about nothing. You are forced to eat what they feed you. Even now, I live in a pod with a pod the size of a normal living room with 7 other men. I'm told what to do. As 59 years old, I have kids now telling me what to do. You know, uh, and those are things that hurt. Because I know my value, my worth today. I wish that I would have really locked in on that then. Knowing that today. Yeah.
Well, brother, it sounds like, man, there's been an amazing transformation. And I mean, I met you some years ago now. I don't even remember what prison was that. I feel like was it at Corcoran, or was it at, were you at Sentinella?
Yes, I was a
That's what
sentinella.
was at
Yes, I
Sentinella.
was
That's where we initially, yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember
sentinella.
you used to walk around with the toothpick. It was
Oh,
smooth. We
come
used to call you
on,
LL
man.
back in the
Come
day. I
on,
remember that
man.
so long ago. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So
my
now seeing you here is
goodness.
just like,
And
it's an
that's a
amazing.
testimony, bro, of how we affect each other's lives.
Absolutely,
And I think
absolutely.
that's one of the biggest things that I've really learned in this incarceration is, how my life affects other people's.
Hmm.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. All of it is going to affect
Right,
somebody. So that's why today I try to keep it,
right, right, right.
keep it tight, man, because I know people are looking.
Absolutely, man. I
Yes,
don't know if
sir.
you, I don't
Ain't
know
that
if you, yeah,
something?
it's crazy.
Yeah,
When
you
I
just
saw
took
you
me
over
back.
here, it was
Yeah.
like, there's certain people that like
Yes, sir.
have had such a major impact on
Yes.
me, and like have kept me motivated,
Yes, sir.
my
Praise
partner and I,
God,
to
man.
keep this
Yes.
program going. And
Absolutely.
I remember that Sentinella was the first prison that we ever went into.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But I
Yes. Yes.
remember actually like speaking about you,
Yes.
because I remember you were telling me your age, and I'm like, wait, like yo,
Yes.
we met this brother in there, like you would never believe his age.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's when
Yes.
I realized that it's crazy how this place
Mm.
has a way of like
Mm.
preserving people in a
Yes, it
sense.
does.
You know what
Yes,
I'm
it
saying?
does. Yes, it
And
does.
it's
I
just
tell you
nuts.
something about that. That's the outside.
Mm.
Yes, it preserves the outside. On the inside, man, I got high blood pressure. I got post-traumatic stress disorder. I got acute anxiety. I got abandonment issues. I got neglect issues. All of that's bundled up in here. And it's been a process of learning how to cope with them healthy. Because, as men, our primary emotion, which is a secondary emotion, is just to act out angrily, and that's really not the problem. I just want to be loved. I just want to be embraced. I just want to be received. I just want to be forgiven, all those type of things.
Mm.
Before, I would act it out angrily, be mad, hard, all them different things. But today, it's like I really see it for what it's worth. But that's the work that you just talked about, that transitioning, into just elevating that growth, really seeing what the problem is. And that's probably what my problem was as a 17-year-old kid. Like I said, because I come from an abusive household. I come from a father that was took care of the house. Don't get me wrong, but that cat with domestic violence, he knew that. He knew that. And that kind of ran me out the house at an early age. So just with that situation, that was the neglect, the abandonment, the resentment, and all of that. And you just take that and take it out on the world, man. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. But back to what you was just saying, man, glory to God, man. Ain't that something? Yeah, because you
Absolutely,
just you just took me there, and I can see you now. I can see
absolutely,
you
man.
now. As well, brother, that shows you the grace of God and how that He knows the plans that He has for us, and He's working it out. Like who the boy just say to walk it out, He walking it out, man.
Hmm.
And I'm thankful, for these opportunities, to continue to grow and to evolve. Just this conversation right now, just being able to extend my essence to the world is it touches me. It really touches me. It really gives me a little bit more responsibility, gives me a little bit more accountability, because, not just want to let myself down, I want to raise other people up. And for them to really be able to see that, man, through all of this, yeah, we still rise. Still I rise. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
I guess that leads me to my last question right
Yes, sir.
here. What would you say to anybody on the outside that might have a preconceived, idea of what people who are incarcerated
Yes.
are or look like or show up as in the world? Like, for all the people who might be uh, thinking negatively and might not believe that rehabilitation is possible, what's a message that you would give to them?
Absolutely. Nobody is born into the world uh, with these dysfunctions. When a child is born into a world, a child is like a white chalkboard, like a chalkboard. Just everything's clean, and we learn by observation. We learn by observing. We learn by seeing everything in our communities. We learn by in our households, how we raised by our mothers, our fathers, our uncles, our aunties, our cousins. Going to the community, we learn by all of that. And then we begin to act out all that we learned. Just like I said a minute ago, that forgive me for what I've done, you know, and I can honestly say I didn't mean it. This is what was given to me. I was acting out what was given to me. Through the course of time, being able to rehabilitate, recover, as they call it, really all it is having people finally sitting you down long enough to be able to pour into you that water of life, you know. So transformation and change is possible with anybody. I don't think just giving up on anybody is the key. Is the key. I think we, like the Bible says, you know, we judge not lest you too be judged, you know, and we all are going to stand before that throne there one day. And it'd be like Jesus in that parable said, he said, man, I asked you for some water and you wouldn't give me no water. And now you here knocking at my door and you want me to let you in, you know. So I think remember things like that. And I've been doing these courses called Adverse Childhood Experiences, where you just really begin to study all of that you've been through that's had negative effects on you, right? And they tell you it's not what's wrong with you, but it's what happened to you. So when you really start to look at an individual and start to see, damn, what happened to bruh? Damn, you know what I mean? Then you can start begin to understand why a cat is on the path that he's on. Mm-hmm. Then you can start beginning to have that empathy to be able to, all right, well, bro, come here, man. Let me help you out. Let me help you out, you know. So
Right.
that's what it would be. Like I said, for society just to you know, don't give up on yours. Don't give up on yours, and to understand it's individuals in the community today that's gonna be just like Keith, 40-something years later, if we don't step in there and help, if we don't, you know, edify and uplift those in our community, you know, instead of step on them, instead of throw them away and all those different type of things.
Man, well, I thank you so much for
Yes,
taking the
sir.
time to talk. It's great to reunite with you,
Ain't
brother.
that
For real,
something?
man.
Ain't
This is
that
amazing.
something?
This is
Yes,
amazing.
yes,
Thank
yes,
you so much for talking to us.
yes.
Much love, brother.